This is power within, your daily fuel for discipline, strength, and unstoppable motivation. I think we can all agree that life is hard. Sometimes it's really, really, really hard. The good news is you are stronger than you think and you have access to immense power. Now you might be thinking, what kind of crazy nonsense is this? How is life hard when I have access to such great power? Well, let me explain. You see, in school we were taught to focus on grades. Get good grades, get into a good university, get a good job, and then you can retire with a good pension. This is what most people spend their entire lives doing. Going from one grade to the next, hoping that one day they'll be good enough. The problem is that many people never actually enjoy their lives. They go through school resenting their teachers and parents telling them to study. Then they get into university and resent the lecturers for giving them so much homework. And then they get a job and resent their boss for making them work so hard, but this is not how it has to be. There's a quote by the ancient Greek philosopher Epicurus that goes like this: "Life is not made of days, but of moments. Every moment is either a choice or a judgment. Either we choose to do something or we don't. Or we judge what is happening and we assign good or bad to it." For example, the other day my wife and I were scrolling through Instagram and saw an advertisement for a pair of shoes that we both liked. So we both looked at our phones and said, "Yes, that's pretty cool." Then we went back to what we were doing, which was filming this very video. So there we were in the same room at the same time looking at the same thing, and yet each of us had a different experience. You see, she looked at her phone and said, "Yes, that's pretty cool," and went back to work. But I looked at my phone and thought, that would make a pretty cool addition to my collection. And so now I own those shoes. Now, am I happier because of those shoes? Absolutely not. But if you had asked me at that moment which option would make me happier, I would have said getting the shoes. However, I'm not saying that you should always follow your desires, but rather that we must be aware of what we are doing at every moment, because even though we desire some things, it doesn't mean they will bring us happiness. And sometimes we feel unhappy not because of what is happening to us, but because of how we choose to look at what is happening. In other words, whether we label something as good or bad, Epictetus says that it's up to us. So you have the power to choose how you react to everything that happens to you. This is the first type of immense power you have. It's the power to choose your thoughts and your actions. You could try and fight against everything that happens to you, but this will only make you miserable. Instead, why not choose to accept it and adapt? Because the reality is that no matter what you do, things will still happen. People will still upset you, plans will still fall apart. And so instead of fighting it, why not choose to accept it and move forward? Now, just because you have the power to choose your thoughts and actions doesn't mean that you should. Sometimes it is better to wait and see what happens. So before you make any big decisions, here is a simple trick that you can use to determine whether you should make a decision right now or wait. Ask yourself, will this decision change anything? If the answer is yes, then it probably isn't worth making the decision now. For example, say someone upsets you. Should you react by yelling at them? No, because that won't change anything. So instead of wasting your energy on anger, it's best to stay calm and collected. On the other hand, say you're considering quitting your job to start your own business. Should you decide right now? No, because a lot can change over the course of a year. Your business plan might change, the market conditions might change, and even you might change. So instead of making a rash decision, take some time to weigh out the pros and cons. And if you still think that starting your own business is the right thing for you, then go ahead and do it. Next, another type of power that we all have is the power of reflection. In other words, the ability to learn from our experiences. We all make mistakes, but it's what we do after making the mistake that truly matters. Some people dwell on their mistakes, while others try to forget that they ever happened. But neither of these approaches is healthy. Instead, we should strive to find the lessons in our mistakes and learn from them. For example, let's say that you failed an exam. What could you do about it? You could dwell on the fact that you failed and feel sorry for yourself, or you could try to forget that it happened and pretend that you passed. But these are both unhealthy reactions. Instead, you should ask yourself, why did I fail this exam? Was I not smart enough? Did I not study enough? Did I choose the wrong course? Once you figure out the reasons why you failed, you can take steps to improve your situation. Maybe you need to study harder, maybe you need to choose a different course, or maybe you need to realize that your intelligence is more than your IQ. By asking ourselves these kinds of questions, we can learn from our mistakes and improve our chances of success in the future. Third, we all have the power of love. Love is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is what drives us to do great things and what gives meaning to our lives. When we love something or someone, we are motivated to do great things for them. We want to make them happy and we want to see them succeed. And the beautiful thing is that we can choose to love anything we want. We can love our jobs, our families, our friends, our hobbies, or even our country. When we love something, we are more likely to be passionate about it, and we are more likely to put in the effort to make it successful. So, if you want to be successful at something, then find ways to love it. Find ways to be passionate about it, and find ways to make it meaningful for you. Fourth, we all have the power to inspire. Every single one of us has the ability to inspire others. And this is a truly powerful ability because we can inspire others to be better versions of themselves. We can motivate them to chase their dreams, and we can encourage them to never give up. All it takes is a little kindness, a little compassion, and a little bit of belief in others. When we show others that we believe in them, we give them the courage to believe in themselves. Fifth, we all have the power to stop suffering. One of the most common causes of human suffering is attachment. We become attached to certain outcomes, certain relationships, and even certain material possessions. And when these things don't go our way, we suffer. But the truth is that we can choose to detach ourselves from these things. We can choose to focus on the present moment and to appreciate what we have rather than what we do and have. By doing this, we can free ourselves from a lot of unnecessary suffering. In conclusion, we all have immense power within us, the power to choose our thoughts and actions, the power of reflection, the power of love, the power to inspire, and the power to stop suffering. When we realize that we have this power, we can start to take control of our lives and create the reality that we want to live in. I hope this video has inspired you to realize the power that you have within you. And if you want to learn more about how to use this power to create the life you want, then check out this video here. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for daily motivation, and let's rise together.